Yes, yeah. I think the name was there. Okay. Name was there. Let's comment for you. And you, yeah, you came online and you were the only one half the second. Well, the last 15 minutes just then there was training. In the middle also you were then also you were last minute that was ना उसका first half से have you done your mock, first mock? Yes. Sure. Yes. How did it go? Very bad. Very bad? No. Reading comprehension वाला थोड़ा था, but response score. Question wrong. So many questions wrong. Logical reasoning you did? सही था? Verbal में दिक्कत आया? That's nice. नहीं आया. So you can learn where you need to work more. Yes. Computer classes? Yes. Already 10. It's last week, Kala. Yeah. So this week was 10. You've been too slack with everything. Looks like. Where are you? I told you all finish till 10. Saturday करना था. Saturday everyone having finished, so I said okay, we'll discuss on Monday. Friday को बोला था, we'll discuss on Monday. Friday को तो I went to the university event then. Saturday को I didn't manage very much. Sunday को बोला. I did. You were absent 2 days, so you were not. But you have to finish everything. You need to handle it. You were there on Friday? First, we will discuss the bottom. Last is. Then we have to discuss the. If we don't solve our problems, what is the time this difficult? C passage wasn't. When you have to complete the test.
That's the last time logical reason, personality. Then that's the logical reason. Then maths takes scientific computation. Quantitative equation after that, 25 minutes. Well, maths I did. Then teach my 5 minutes. I did okay. But I did last logical reason. I completed, but last part 3, 4. But 1, 2 I did till the end.
Oh, not much. It's small one. The sentence jumble.
Sentence C from another thing down. The word vocabulary similar.
This 50. Have you done everything? Did you do the homework? You did do. Why good? Why you didn't put your same? नहीं, that is not done. जिस दिन mock लेना है उस दिन लेना है. You can't. You tell your family that I have to take the mock, means I have to take it. Right? I don't hear कि आज नहीं किया, बाहर चले गए, ये किया, वो किया. They have been given. Is it mock होना है मतलब होना है? When I am discussing the mock today and you haven't done it, what's the point? And now because of you, the whole class has to suffer. Right? And you? The last 3 times I had asked, you said 6 तक किया है, I have to do the rest. If I give the number, it's in order. No, you see the numbers, they're all in order. See, CT1 was 4, right? And then if you go down, here you have to do CT6 is 9, then next is 10, next is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, as we have. 18 वो 1 के साथ मैच नहीं है, but otherwise it's an order. If you found the 1 का number, then you have the other का number. So now you please take note. CT6 is 9, and then you can figure out the rest. I don't know.
At least you can recall the questions. So, discuss the mark first. I'll discuss the mock because everyone was supposed to do it. If you haven't done it, I can't give another day to discuss. Alright?
My mistakes. I'm just new.
You
Can I
just
do my
give it.
evaluate?
And you didn't bother to figure out
No, I'm already with that.
Okay, actually, wait,
That's it.
we'll discuss, you can figure out. If you get your score,
Yes.
yeah, how much did you get?
$76.
What was the total score? What was the total score?
$500.
So this was your passage, you can recall your passage. How much time did you take to read the passage?
And it's complicated.
Good morning. Okay, okay. Okay, did you do the mock? How did it go? Very nice.
Attempt, that's like around 50 questions.
So you were not able to do the questions or you didn't get 10?
Sorry, topics are not for like maths and logic.
Maths and logical.
Essentially, I was able to do.
So we are discussing this today. The reading comprehension passage, were you able to figure it out? Yeah, it was even to the complicated. Not very straightforward. But not, yeah, you have to think of it. So what was it talking about? It was talking about a person being arrested for insulting or saying something. Then it goes on to talking about so it talks about passivity allows the rise for authoritarian figures, right? Gandhi's policy group, so it talks about something specific, he said. And then it goes on to talk about the difference between giving speeches explicitly, which is genocide, we can make it genocide, and criticizing individuals. And then it says who were such a being unquestionable, and the result of it, right? So if you had a map of the passage, you knew where what was, right? So when you read, first thing is your map of the passage. Now culture of criticism and accepted, nothing can be questioned. Problem is more general one, attitude of uncritical reverence, and then it says Nehru questioned it, right? Also an attitude that lies at the heart of authoritarian societies, dangerous, sequel, and we need to overcome parochialism, maybe we did not meaning of the word. Have you looked up the meanings if you didn't know them? So you can go back to it later. So parochialism means selfishness. Or you can say narrow-mindedness. Not laws that lead to arrest. What is required is abolition of laws. Prohibition again say questioning boundary feeds into the logic of not being able to question anyone. Rather, they require space to elevate their context. So that was more or less what. Okay, question number 1. We have done this, you will be recalling. So you have it from your. You got this right? Question number 1 of this question. You want it right? So what does the question say? Which of the following does not fortify the author's opinions as stated in the passage? Means simple. What is the question? So if you don't understand the question, what do you do? Rephrase it. Which of the statements does not fortify? So which one is not supported by the passage? Yeah, which doesn't go according to what the writer is saying. So now A says questioning the apparition. Morning, Shyam.
Good morning, ma'am.
What happened? Why are you late even online?
मम्मा इंस्टाग्राम में बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर का वो आज बहुत भीड़ रहेगा आपको चलता हूँ ट्रेन ऑन बसेस में आज दे आ गए थे फ्री कंसेशन
You have to be on time no matter what. I don't want any excuses that this happened or that happened. Okay. Have you taken the mock yesterday?
No, ma'am, today I will be taking the mock.
Okay, let me be very clear. If a mock is on a certain day, you have to do it that day. No excuses for not taking the mock the day it is put up. Okay? Shouldn't
Yes,
happen.
ma'am.
But I have told you that I'll be discussing the mock on Monday. It should have been done. Okay, anyway, we are discussing it, whether you have taken it or not. Okay, question 1. So questioning the apparently sacred need not lead led to its demise? Questioning the sacred doesn't lead to its demise. Somewhat that comes in the passage, right? Nationalist nostalgia for a timeless present has been the death of a questioning attitude that is able to place heroes in their context and question the correct again. So, a nationalist attitude or nationalist nostalgia, this came in, I think, the second paragraph. Yeah. So, timeless present has been the death of questioning attitude. So, because of the nostalgia that they have for a particular event or a person, and they think that person is a national hero, nobody questions, right? So that also comes up, yeah. Is able to place heroes in the context and question the death of questioning attitude that is able to place heroes in their context and question their correct relevance. So we can't say that that is not supported by the passage. Now, the problem here is that it's not straightforward. You have to figure out, okay, take bits and pieces of it and say, ye bura. Yeah, the passage talked about this. Okay, C, laws can help and bring about an end to narrow thinking, which allows for rise of authoritarianism. Has that been spoken about? What does it talk about the laws? What they said about the laws that they do not need laws to protect them, rather they require space to evaluate their context. Yeah, and it also says what is required is abolition of laws. Right? We need to abolish the laws that lead to arrest, are not laws that lead to produce Indian authorism, are not laws that lead to this or that great person. So they were talking about laws which led to arrest. Do laws bring about an end to narrow thinking? No, we need laws that bring about, but they don't exist. So that we can say they haven't spoken. He says idealizing national figures foster authority. They have said that. Right? Somewhere in the first part. Yeah, the first paragraph. The first paragraph is
the power of product.
yeah.
Negative sense of
Negative sense. In this it is negative. Because you are using your authority to protect something which other people are questioning. Right? So, idealizing national figures fosters figures who claim to speak in the name of Indian traditions and culture, and later also some defense. Yeah, so here your answer is C. But that's not really, that, at least it is clear that they haven't spoken. Or they are spoken the opposite. Right? 2. Did you get it? Did you get it? It says which of the following is not an ill effect of culture or critical reverence for national heroes as stated in the passage. So it's talking about what is not an ill effect of putting those heroes or treating the heroes as national heroes or respecting them to the extent that passing laws to punish people criticizing. So, which of the following is not an ill effect.
And it's only is an
It's not an ill effect. So you have to read the question again. Right? So what can we say is not an ill effect? Rise of authoritarian figures is not good. Right? It is happening, but it is not good. Okay, granting national heroes a capacity to inflict real harm. Does it talk about this? To inflict real harm.
And there was this line when it was written.
So in the first paragraph, it talks about
The word paragraph last
in comma can lead to very real actual harm, but the latter leads to a situation. So this is an evil. We can't say this is not an evil. Yeah, it talks about it. Sorry. So 2 is an ill effect. Claiming to speak in the name of Indian traditions and culture. Speaking in the name of Indian traditions and culture. Look at this mistake. If you say that we want to speak in the name of Indian traditions and culture, is that an evil? We should be proud of our tradition and culture. Yeah. So claiming to speak in the name of Indian tradition and culture isn't really a secret, right? And we have it something in the last paragraph. Yeah. So not being able to question anyone, so we should be able to. So if we say that we claim to speak in the name of Indian tradition and culture, it's fine, but punishing would be a error. So this is not real. We can no longer say nothing about anyone. That is an error, right? Yeah, so which of these is not an elephant? Now A is an elephant, B is, C we can say, okay, just this is not. Right? Okay, 3, which of the following finds least support in the passage? So which is not supported by in the passage? Gandhi's politics would facilitate India's takeover by Islam. Does the passage say this is true? That was the first paragraph about this person who was arrested and what he said. Yes, what's that said? Yeah, by arresting Cultural is reported to have said that Gandhi's politics would facilitate India's takeover by Islam. So does the passage claim it? Does the passage support it? It doesn't support.
It doesn't.
No. Kalicharan was arrested for saying this. So is the passage supporting it?
It's noted. It's not.
It's noted, it's a fact. But is the passage supporting it? Right? It's something that that particular person had said because of it. So it's just telling you why he was arrested. Yeah. So he was arrested because he said that. Was praiseworthy for providing an alternate worldview, and that's why he was arrested. Right? So the passage as such, or the author doesn't support it. Taking legal action against people. Taking legal action against people who give speeches that explicitly call for the genocide of certain communities is not unreasonable. I say Something like that.
Yes.
Huh? Is not unreasonable.
Yeah,
Is not unreasonable. Taking legal action against people. Okay, now we come to this part. Yeah. There's a difference between giving speeches that explicitly call for genocide of certain communities and those that criticize individuals. So criticizing is a different thing. Giving speeches which lead to genocide is different. And then it said no matter how flimsy or reprehensive that are the arguments, who have been granted the status of being unquestionable. Yeah. They have been granted the status of being questionable. Former could lead to very real actual harm, but the latter leads to a situation where individuals can be granted the status of cause and hence the capacity to inflict real harm. So, now if you look at the statement says, I read the statement, taking legal action against people who give speeches that explicitly call for genocide of certain communities is not unreasonable. So does it say it is not unreasonable? Not unreasonable are two negatives.
Yes.
Put them together is reasonable. So what does this say? They have been granted the status of being unquestionable. So according to the passage, so and it says the former could lead to real harm, and then later leads to a situation where individuals can be granted the status of God. And then so from this whole thing, can we say that it is unreasonable? No, it is not unreasonable. That is what we get. So it is supported, right? So not under there. See, now you have to be very careful about the words used in the options. Not unreasonable, that's where you are getting confused.
Okay, now this is clear. Why did the fourth option?
Yeah, fourth option, yeah. Put it the fourth option. Nehru was not in favor of attitude of name veneration of leader. Not in favor. It was the opposite. Nehru seems to have been one of the few leaders who was able to question it. He questioned on critical reference. Right? If you read this paragraph, the problem is more general one, an attitude of uncritical reference. Nehru seems to have been one of the few leaders who was able to question it. So Nehru did question uncritical reference.
What is veneration?
Veneration means to put somebody on or to revere somebody extremely. Veneration means to honor somebody to yeah, extreme respect. So it's a step, it's a degree further than reverence. Right? So what's the answer here? A is the answer. Right? So that is what the passage doesn't say. Stating now there's a difference between stating a fact and the passage, what the passage is talking about, and supporting some. Right? Because this?
Yes.
This?
I would branch.
Because the great answer.
No, I would recall.
So this was about summarizing the given sentence, right? So what we need, now the given sentence is quite long. What we need to overcome the parallelism of thought that leads to uncritical application, which in turn produces Indian authoritarianism, are not always that lead to arrest or insulting this or that great percentage. What is required is the abolition of laws whose origins in any case lie in the particular needs of colonialism that makes such insults punishable. So, what is the main idea over here? That we need laws to stop this. Yeah, basically, if you just pick up the main points, something is happening. That is parallelism of thought, and what is the result of it? And the next sentence talks about what we need to stop it. Right? Now, in these questions, there, if you look at the options, laws which discourage insulting great personage can help overcome parochialism of thought, which produces authority. Now, is this the answer that you would choose? Should have the main points and should be clear. So, is A clear? Laws which discourage insulting great personage can help overcome parochialism of thought, which produces authority. I was talking about laws which discourage insulting. Now, do the laws exist? They don't exist. We need those laws. So, will it be correct? So, if we get the meaning of A, it means that these laws can help overcome. So, maybe these laws are already there. Is it clear? Does it make it clear that we need these laws?
Laws are the abolition of this.
We need to abolish laws that this is what? Laws which discourage insulting. Are there laws that discourage insulting?
It's not saying about people, it's saying about abolition of laws which protect the national.
Yeah. So from this line, is it clear what the paragraph was to say?
It's case now.
Laws are there, and but yeah, they discourage insulting. Now we should make laws which make that make such insults punishable, or we should abolish laws. We require abolition of such. That's what we need in our answer. This doesn't talk about abolition of laws. We need to overcome the parochialism of thought that leads to uncritical application, which in turn produces authoritarianism through use of laws. So, is it talking about abolition of laws anyway? It's giving you only the first one, not the second sentence, right? C. What does C do? It's only paraphrasing the first sentence. Laws were enacted to fulfill needs of government. It's not talking about laws that will stop it. Yeah. B says narrow-mindedness, that is parochialism, of thought can be conquered by scrapping laws which make insulting great personal punishment. This is the only one which is talking about scrapping these laws. Abolishing the laws. So, CB. These were easy? Yes or no?
6 and a half.
Yeah, only PQRS. There was no question.
Serious? Were you doing it on the bigger screen or on your laptop?
So I attempted.
So the question was not uploaded.
Question was that the options are not uploaded. Options were PQRS, QRS space.
Five you got?
Yes.
What was the error?
Big
Become. And it should be between past tense.
6 times again.
6 May, the Rotary Club of your part of the sentence. Didn't really option. Now you can see. Staring at me. And who is doing the action? So whenever you get I and me coming in, to ask yourself who is doing the action? Huh? Are you doing the action? Rotary Club uploaded. Did you upload? Rotary Club uploaded me. Hari and me. Yeah. As for convention, I or me always comes second. But grammatically, even if it falls, okay, unless you have an option with it. So this will be Hari and me. You have to remember this. Got it.
Object.
Always ask yourself who is doing the action. Seven was okay. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. You had done this poem in Robert Frost 10th standard.
Repetition of phrases.
Yeah, repetition of phrases.
Some say, some say.
So it's is it a pun? You know what a pun is. What's a pun? What's a pun? Huh? Pun is something which has a double meaning.
Yeah, word is
Yeah, you
intentionally
use a word in a certain way, but it will mean something else also. Right? Allusion, you know.
Something else.
Yeah, indirect reference to something. So is this an allusion? Not really. Yeah. Antithesis, you know. Anti means opposite. Antithesis means contrasting ideas coming together.
That is correct now.
Oxymoron. Type of oxymoron. Antithesis is extreme.
Yeah.
Oxymoron words in that.
Oxymoron is for words. Yeah, oxymoron is for words and so
Okay, give me an example of both sides. Give an example for antithesis and
oxymoron usually when you say two words coming together, like it's like words which mean different. And it's the two ideas coming together, which are completely
Quite
different.
sure.
Yeah.
So what is that oxymoron?
Yeah.
Quite sure.
That is oxymoron. And if you say that it's raining heavily, but it's sunny. And it's so two completely different ideas coming together. So is this antithesis? Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. Fire and ice are two different ideas, yeah. But both are talking about the end of the world. So if both are talking about the end of the world, is it then opposite ideas? Not clearly. Yeah, they're talking about the same thing, and two ways it can be done, and those two ways are seemingly opposite. So can we say it is an antithesis as such? Not really. This is more of an anaphora. Anaphora means when you are repeating a certain word or phrase throughout. प्रथम में भी थोड़ा बहुत आता है yeah, different meaning. So some say, and then again some say, that is okay. Number 8. You have to put it in the right order. This one's easy. Got this?
Yes.
So now the first and last sentences were given, so that was pretty easy. Yeah, the 7-year study would be like what it showed. So clearly implies, after implies, what will come?
Yeah. First is organized by the
Huh?
first is you.
Yeah, study organized by the infancy center clearly implies that it is be more restful than with around other kids than with strangers. This one also easy.
Yeah.
First and last are given.
C.
Yeah. A competition. This is also you have to pick the word which is correctly spelled. Grammar is only one thing. Figure. This you could figure out the words. You. What does it mean? What's no idea? I learned those words. Yet come across this word. Locu means to do with speech. Elocution. Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
So it means to do with speech, talkative. Tendency to talk a lot. B is the correct option. Well, you must have got this.
Yes.
Audacious, we have come across this word quite often. Bold, taking risk. Right? This was easy.
Yes.
Considerate. You are considerate about somebody's feelings. Insensitive. You are considerate about somebody's feelings. Need you take care of the person's feelings.
Considering technology something, no?
Yes.
So how will it be ignorant?
Because he was very considerate.
Ignorant is you don't know about something. Ignorant means you not knowing. It's not ignorant doesn't mean choose to ignore.
It's sensitive, opposite sensitive.
Considerate means sensitive. Considerate means I am considerate that you were sick, so you didn't do the test. Will I say I am ignorant that you were sick and you didn't do the test? Ignorant. Ignorant is not knowing something.
People that don't care kind of
No. No. Ignorant means that is ignore. There's a difference between ignorant and ignore. You are talking about ignore. Ignore means to avoid or not consider. नहीं. Ignorant means to be unaware. Right? So just because the words seem the same doesn't mean they mean the same. Yeah, so here will be insensitive. Easy one. Yeah, maybe they knew that people will be confused with ignorant. They must have got answers like, okay. This was easy. D. All of the others were in afterwards. The maid servant was. You need the subject first. 15 was also easy. He was proclaimed, so we needed a passive voice, right? 16,
B.
indirect, we needed indirect speech. What's the answer?
D.
D.
B.
B.
Yes.
B. Bad.
The shortest question, a question mark is made when we.
B. Sorry. What was that? I'm looking at 15. Top assistant asked 17.
A.
No, bad.
Romaya, you know,
The thing later on is present tense and that kind of. Second present tense.
Raj said there is an excellent band playing. Okay, when you are converting direct speech into indirect speech, what do you do?
I know present was past, but it's saying later on. So how can we write later on in the past?
Raj said that there was an excellent band playing later on. There is will be converted to words. He said that. Right? So when you're using he said that, you go one step backwards with your word. 18 was easy. Huh? Abide will always go with by. 19, access to. Embark upon. Everybody complains. Complains. Trespass
Or.
on and drive them away. So you see, she traded on. Traded on. What did you get? Okay. You thought it was a verb. Confused between on and upon. Trade on something. 24. Similarly. Reverend, you know Reverend by now very well. Come across it so many times. This one. 26. ये किया था नहीं किया था? हाँ? Wrong kind. Okay, so this is B.
B correct.
B is correct.
D is correct.
So here we have a modifier problem and there is a contrast, right? So the sentence as it is a little complicated. What do we need? Clear, concise, right? So this is a sentence improvement one. Clear, concise, and not changing the meaning. So what will we go with? Like the planets, the stars are in motion. Yeah, as the planets means like the. So stars are in motion, some of them at tremendous speeds. So stars has tremendous speeds. That should come together. Right? So the stars, some of them at tremendous speeds, are in motion just as the planets are. Yet being so far away from Earth. Now what is far away from Earth? It's making the sentence complicated unnecessary. So we make it shorter, simplify it, and we get to B. Now if you look at C, although like the planet stars are in motion, some of them at tremendous speeds. Does it make it better? No. So B is the only one which makes it better.
But seems seem to see itself.
As the planets, the stars are in motion, some of them are tremendous speed. So would we say would we use as the planets in the beginning of the sentence? Yeah?
Same thing, like
So which is better?
light.
Light is better. You're comparing. Yeah? When you are comparing, we use as for comparison also, but between D and B, which is a better way of saying it? You have to use your discretion. Grammatically, it may be correct, but this is better. Right? So that's where they are testing you for your own understanding. Okay, this one, 27. This was easy. Right?
No, not the messages. One of those, then we use a singular now.
One of the people is singular.
Yeah,
He is one of those people.
after listen such as
COT we say.
One of those people who never listen. He is among the people who never listen.
what?
He is, will be singular. He is one of those. What is he one of?
Of those people.
People who never listen.
Only आएगा.
It's one of those.
Right? Break it down. Break it down. He is one of those people, singular. Right? So if you say, after trying to convince him for a long time, I realized that he was one of those people. No, I am trying to convince him. He is one of those people who never listens. Listen.
Why is it present and past was correct?
Okay, we can look at the past ones. He was one of those people who never listened to his. Yeah? And B says he is one of those people who never listened to his. After trying to convince him for a long time, I realized that he is or was. Think about it. He is.
But I realized that he was.
I was trying to convince him. And now what do I realize? I realized. After all this, I realized
That he was.
he is. That is a fact.
Everything वो है.
We है. So when you are talking about a fact, a general statement of fact will be in the present tense. Right? So there the verb becomes is, not was. And the next part about listens or listen, you got that? You understood why it listens? Why not listens but listen? Okay, now he is one of those
I want to ask, he listens for he or we.
people. That's why I said break it down. Break it down. He is what? One of those people. What type of people? People who never listen.
There was this question, I don't know, we did. I can discuss those.
There was a different situation. You have to look at the situation, the context. Context is important.
Some people, they don't
Huh.
same thing.
But the context would have been different. Your listens relates to the people, not him. Right? Okay. 28. Grammatically correct sentence. We have to select the grammatical. First one, anything wrong in the first one? So what are we talking about? We had, when we returned to the street. Here we are talking about a past tense. We returned. The light filled or the light bad? The sentence is in the past.
So first, जो पहले पांच होता है उसमें हमारा रहता है ना. So it would have been
When we return to the street. What is it?
we had
Light from the kitchen windows fill the areas. Had filled the areas. Grammatically, it would be that. Right? So we are talking about the past perfect tense. So remember, okay, one thing very important, revise your tenses. Okay? Especially when they are very fond of past perfect or for all the perfect tenses. Have, had. Okay, number 2 is correct. B, is it correct? One can enjoy the play on stage without much attention to its rich and complex symbolism and this subtle weaving of its different motives. What's its referring to? Play. So it's correct? Yes or no?
But it's usually not the children enjoy without paying attention.
Logic नहीं देखते, he is looking at the time. Yeah. One can enjoy the play on stage without paying much attention to its rich and complex symbolism and the subtle weaving of its different motives. So even if you don't go into the details, you can still enjoy it. Right? That's what it means to say. See? Is C correct? What's wrong in C if it is not correct? Vishti? Account. Right. It will never be account N, it will always be account 4. Okay, B. And interesting story and intricate. Intricate and. Right? So the only correct option is B. B has no errors. 29. It's here again we have to select the grammatically correct sentence. Right? The intrigue here not only enhances. What does intrigue mean? Interesting, something that is interesting. Or something that makes it interesting. Yeah. So it says the intrigue here not only enhances the theoretical interest of the play, yet is a dramatized projection. So not only and yet. Is it correct? Yes. Right? B, you got this one correct? You want to skip? Skip? You just have to figure out what was wrong. And yeah, there were sentences, but still not. B में कुछ problem है?
yes.
What's wrong in B?
Necessary to overcome.
Overcome this. C. It also results in a huge economic and political crisis.
Yes.
I am less afraid of the virus.
So compare.
Yeah, I am less afraid of this than of the inner demons. This parallel structure. Comparison. Less afraid of this than that. Right? So C seems to be correct. D, what's wrong in D? Again. 50. For this one? You have to put them in. No, again identify the ones that are incorrect. You have to identify the one that is incorrect. Or maybe not. Here in this one, you need to read the entire thing before coming to your conclusion. Right? Apart from it, so did you get this right?
Yes.
You did. You did. You did. What went wrong?
The statements very clear that I get.
So, okay, so Vishni, can you do that? Shyam, give me your answer for this. Do it.
Just again. Huh? Amy? Yeah, to our customers and that doesn't fit. So apart from ensuring and efficient electric supply to our customers, it could be for also, because if we are doing this for our customers. On option C.
Option C में क्या problem है?
नहीं ऑप्शन सी अच्छा ओके इनपुटिंग अगर इनकरेक्ट पे तो इसका आंसर
Anything wrong in B? Because National Electric provides an invaluable service in other areas as well. That is C में क्या problem है?
C. I.
We don't need Y. I'm looking at a contrast. Yeah. If you look at this next part, and we receive a huge number of calls from customers, is there any contrast? We don't need Y. Right? Y is redundant. And when you want to make an inquiry and we receive a huge number of calls, on average, on an average, anything, on average, both are. Yeah? There are 50,000 calls in a week. Would you want to say in a week?
Yeah.
That's what the option I know I just
Okay, and we receive okay, let's read it with the previous one. Our customer helpline is the first point of contact when you want to make an inquiry. And we receive a huge number of calls from customers. It should be on an average then. There are 50,000 calls a week. 50,000 calls a week, not just 1 week, but every week. A week.
I know how it is. Correct, but it's not that.
Yeah, idiomatically, see, In a week, could we connect as in say, okay, grammatically, but idiomatically, do we say in a week? A week. So we are talking about, what are we talking about? 50,000 calls every week. Right? On an average, we get 50,000 calls every week. So, what can we replace every with? A week. Not in a week. Right? So, you have to analyze each part of it. So, this seemed easy. There were little things which we have to take. And of course, they also know you will miss out on those small things. Here we have to mark something that is
like it should be.
whether there is any character. We have to look for the I have got your letter yesterday. I had got or just got. I got your letter. Yes, what do we need? Do we need a past perfect? Yeah. If you had and have felt happy, then had felt. It's just felt happy at a simple past.
I had got your history. Yesterday.
And
Was
had felt.
Had is then something first action.
Two actions, one before the other, then you use past perfect. Here we are talking about and felt happy to learn of your recovery. Felt happy is simple past. Other part also should be simple past. Same thing. Right? So A is the only one that is not. 32 you got?
No, but we got the logic.
Only 28%.
We had to look for the opposite of equanimity. We have done the word equanimity, if you remember. Equanimity means calmness. Huh? Opposite will be excitement. It won't be resentment or dubious. Dubious and duplicity is the same thing. 33. Read second in the form. Please. 34. See, we're talking about the future. Will not leave. Yeah, that's also very easy. Clear हो गया? Was it very difficult?
First reading.
Why did you find maths?
First chapters were not for me.
जो आ रहे थे वो टफ था, जो नहीं आ रहे वो इजी लग रहा है।
Okay, now next. Okay, now please next mock test say you will do the mock test the day it comes up. Sunday means mock test. Next Sunday. Every Sunday you will have a mock test. Right? Today देख लेना. जितना 2 का mock test next Sunday होगा and you have to do it.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday या उससे पहले या you got the test timetable, ना?
It's on 28.
Sunday.
Okay.
Usually Sundays are for the mocks. Unless we don't have time and they put it in the middle. So end day, it will be in the middle. After you have completed your classes. Yeah?
Yes.
And while classes are going on, most of the Alright? And Sunday go, no excuses. Then I have to go here, I have to go there. Otherwise, we'll get you all here and make you sit down and do it. That's the name. If you have any problem, you come there and do it. Okay? We have left it to you that you can sit at home and do it, but that doesn't mean that you cannot. Okay, what's the time?
More pressure.
11:10. So we can move on to the class test. How many have we done? 10 again?
एक ही बचा है 110 का है
10 दिया. Okay, move on this. Huh?
11 12 11
11 तक नहीं हो रहा था, 10 तक हो रहा. Shyam, have you finished the mock tests? Sorry, the class tests? Shyam, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you finished till class test 10? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So class test 5 we haven't discussed, right? And classes 5 we have done. That भी आया ना? 6, 7 भी किया है, 8 भी किया है. Confused lady doesn't know how many he's done. Okay, we'll begin with
Yes.
now we'll go quickly through these. You just tell me where you have gone wrong. You've written your answers? Answers हैं कि नहीं है?
I have present.
Yeah, you did 3 what you got wrong. But this was easy.
Influence now.
Okay, now see another thing. For the interview also they are very interested in the northeastern states. Because they know nobody is interested. So randomly they'll ask you which is the neighboring state of this. Or which is the capital of this. General knowledge होना चाहिए.
What ma'am? General
Capitals of states of India. You should know your own state thoroughly. How many districts, who is the speaker of the house, who is the home minister of Maharashtra, how many seats, right? So, Arunachal Pradesh, capital is Islamabad, Assam capital is Dispur. What is Kohima? Capital of Nagaland. Imphal. In fact, I have written something. Imphal is capital. Imphal is capital of Manipur, not Nagaland. Shillong is the capital of?
I know.
So I am Shillong अगर apply करना है, you should know what it is. एक तो मालूम होना चाहिए ना. What's the capital of Mizoram? What's the capital of Tripura?
The
Anybody can
complicated name.
Mr. Ram, Mr. Ram.
Okay, what are the 7 northeastern states?
Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya.
Sikkim आता है, but Sikkim is a is separate.
Mizoram.
There are 3 M's.
Nagaland.
Tripura, Nagaland, Assam,
Assam.
Arunachal.
Assam. Nagaland.
You can look at this way. Yeah, we
Seven
can-
sisters.
7 systems. Huh? What's the capital of Sikkim? In the general knowledge, you should know. Okay, number 3, you got.
Yes.
What was the reason? Or what was the relationship?
Told.
They're homophones. There's no
I'm
meaning.
sure. That's very.
Sure.
Sure. Not to hold for Lead.
It doesn't sound the same. Lead, both are same. They are looking for homophones. Right? Not homonyms. Okay. Yeah. Same meaning. This we are done, huh? Agent? Yes. So you must have found that sometimes some questions are repeated. Yeah. That's for purposely, so you test whether you remember, or if you have not done a test, then it is not. Okay, 5. B is correct. She died at the age of 88. So at the age of 88 is the modifier, it should be placed correctly. Yeah. A, she died in the home in which she was born at the age of 88. C also doesn't mean yes. Viva,
Yes.
what's the problem?
Sixth one.
Ah,
D कैसे correct है? D correct होगा.
Having walked on.
मतलब ऐसा. Incorrect होगा.
sixth answer क्या है? A is wrong.
तो हाँ आज incorrect है. आज तो D
It
में
was the incorrect sentence. Yeah. We have done this in yours.
I chose A.
Choose the incorrect sentence. Incorrect.
तो A is incorrect.
It is incorrect. Having bath all night, I did bath all night.
B is incorrect. C was incorrect. No, B is correct.
Please come here. We can say that, no? The sentence as it is incorrect. It can replace the incorrect sentence. Right? Answer is A. You also incorrect one.
Yes.
What is incorrect here? B.
B.
Number A. A.
C.
Yeah, I listened to the whole album almost. Isn't this we are done? We are done these two sentences, A and B. We're in bold.
C.
Huh? What the question as such? 3 ways, several similar ways, you require to check this sentence not correctly used. So, correctly used. See, 1 and 2 are correctly used. What's wrong with the third one? Bolted him forward. Bolted means bolted won't be the correct one. Bolt would be either to lock or to flee. That will run away. Square. Huh? 10 skip कर दिया. Now we can do it.
give a square means you go, okay.
What else is it?
Skipping here.
B1.
Okay, now we can try it now.
Yes.
All are correct.
All correct?
Square was correct.
Square, how do you use square in this case? And square, like you use, how do you usually use square? Apart from the literal meaning, idiomatically,
Parents square.
parent square, yeah? Square one,
Square one. Oh yeah.
right?
Back to square.
That's the square one. Back to the beginning. So in this case, when we say, Mr. Bhatta wanted to make sure he was square with the court's decision and not subject to a lawsuit, means we were fine with that being agreement. Yeah. So like you also say a square means sufficient. Right? 4 square meals. Or he managed just 1 square meal. Means just 1 meal was enough or good enough. So good enough. After the party, Mohan and Meera decided to square up the bill. Means divide all this, and this is more of settle the bill among themselves. Right? Square up the bill. We have been as square with the startup as square would be as fair. As fair and honest. So all of these square is used for it. Right? So square can be used as substantial, fair, honest, or you are okay with something that also is square. Okay, scale. This was easy. No? Really? 11. Okay, the government is planning a new salary scale for all officers. Salary scale is correct? What are we looking for? You're looking for the ones that are correctly used. Yeah. So one is correct. We cannot track them in the model world unless they use a substantial scale of magic. Is that correct? Substantial scale.
Yeah. Large scale of something.
Large scale of something is okay. We're talking about magic. Yeah. Okay, let's look at 3. No one could have foreseen the scale of the disaster. That is correct. So are all of them correct?
Yes.
2 and 2, when we say substantial scale of magic, substantial scale.
Large scale.
Substantial doesn't mean large.
Substantial
Enough. Enough. So when we say enough scale of magic,
Cannot be enough.
either it will be small scale or large scale. We don't use scale with enough.
Substantial scale.
Significant. Substantial scale, significant. We can say. So in that case, all should be.
Yes. It's the larger significance, like, I'm a mobile.
Subscribe. Is this correct? Yes, number 12, you got right? No? Okay, one is correct, subscribe to a new material is correct. Two, we cannot subscribe to a new policy. Subscribe to something doesn't only mean to pay and get it. Subscribe to something also means to be in agreement with or accept. Accept a new policy?
Yeah.
Huh? In that way it can be correct.
So, correct.
I've decided to subscribe to him since he is superior. Is that correct? That is so 1 and 2 will be correct.
But we don't just have subscribe. Subscribe.
It's idiomatic. Subscribe to a theory means you are in agreement with the theory. Or you accept the theory. Right? Okay, now let's go a little faster. 13 was correct?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes.
Students who are in a vulnerable position. New home is meant for vulnerable youths and adults. Yeah? Subsequent because saw India off from that vulnerable position. All of it. The 3 ways you are required to check which of the sentences are correctly used. You have to choose the one that is correct. Fudge can be used in different ways. Okay, fudge up means to mess up with something. Yeah, that also can
Now,
be.
first is a little meaning.
Or fudging, huh?
First one's a little meaning.
Yeah, there is a little meaning.
Second of that.
Second, fudging fudging the figures means being manipulating the figures.
Should be forging.
Fudging figures. Forging is to
Manipulate.
forging is manipulating.
Cheating.
Cheating. Forging is cheating. That is you are forging things. You're talking about the figures of GDP. Fudging the figures to show that the economy is in the pay. So you are manipulating the figures. Fudging the figures will be manipulating this. Okay, number 3, third option. This new offer of settlement is excellent, going by the terms and conditions that it seems the management really wants it to be the fudge that has been missing from the negotiations. So, to be the fudge that has been missing, does that make sense? What does fudge mean over here? So in this case, if fudge was not there, what word would you have used? Then you can figure out if it means the same. Positive, right? Idiomatically, fudge means positive. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. So will it be used in 3? New settlement is excellent. And the management really wants it to be the fudge that has been missing. right? Wants it to be the cherry that has been missing to say. Yeah, like something important. Would what we use as something important that has been missing. So 3 is round. So you also would be round in 15. In one. Round about coming around and coming round at different things. He is coming around, means he is coming to, yeah, to meet or something. Coming around means he came around after we told him he was wrong. Means he accepted his mistake and yeah, coming around is not very commonly used, but grammatically yes. So all are correct. The examination is around the corner is correct. 16, we got this? No?
Yes.
Bundle of joy. Don't you use bundle of joy? Bundle of joy is an idiom. Yeah. Something is a bundle of joy means it gives you joy. And it's used idiomatically, it's used with kids. Right? Bundle of joy. So it's not literal, but idiomatic. Okay, when the secretary asked for the keys, the watchman brought a bundle of keys. Right? You say bundle of keys. Bunch of keys. Bunch of keys, not bundle of keys.
Bundle of keys. Bunch of.
He made a bundle in the intraday trading at the share market. Made a bundle, again idiomatic. Made profit. Made a bundle means made a lot of money. Yeah, bundle means a bundle of notes in this case. So 3 is correct. So only sentence 2 will be wrong. Yeah. So 1 and 3 are correct. Okay, Viva, number 17.
Yes, wrong.
What wrong? All are correct or all are wrong? Number 17. All are correct. Implication, far-reaching implications. Very next thing, other criminals should be implicated. What does implicated mean in this sentence? Okay, in sentence number 2, what does implicated mean?
Punished.
Punished. And what does it mean in sentence 1?
Consequences.
Consequence. Yeah. And what does it mean in 3?
Accusation.
Decision.
Implication is that all of them were responsible.
Decision.
Conclusion. What does it imply? So the same word used in 3 different sentences, 3 different meanings. Right? Vocabulary, you have to revise your. Okay, Viva? Viva?
Yes.
See? You're not all correct? Answer is there.
आंसर दिया है
A दिया है, only one. ठीक है ना?
आंसर देना है
Simple. He dumped the rest of his coffee in the sink. Makes sense. The water in the lake sank several feet past the sink. Yeah, it went down, sank. The captain said that the feeling of winning in the World Cup took a while to sink in. तो आंसर क्या लिखना है?
प्रैक्टिस राइट सर
The answer should be E. Sure. I'm not hearing anything from you.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your answer to 19?
Mock test नहीं दिया.
Mock test? Yeah.
Yeah, class test 5 चल रहा है ना.
You are discussing class test 5.
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, sir.
You haven't done it.
No, I have done it.
So, I do not know what we are talking about.
अरे नहीं उनका आंसर याद नहीं उसको भूल गया. अब जो बहुत पहले कर लिया था.
Now we have 3 words which are in bold, right? And we have to figure out whether we require different words and if so what. Bolo?
C.
See? Intrigue means?
Interested.
Huh?
Yes, sir. I skip.
Yeah, do we need, what do we need over here? Negative word.
Negative Q.
Any kind of accounting dash that makes the books look rosy will come at the cost of inaccuracy. So we need something. So do we need, what word can go in the first blank?
User present.
Okay, if we look at the second blank, will come at the cost of inaccuracy. Cost of inaccuracy or cost of accuracy?
Accuracy.
Cost of accuracy. Yeah. So second blank is easy. It could be accuracy or precision.
Yeah.
Both can go in. If you look at the third blank, reflect financial sound only, positional state could be, but financials help. It's talking about
Generally state the position.
state of position in general, but what is it? Is it good or bad? That's what we're talking about. So health can come in. Financial health of a country, is it good or bad? Right? So in this case, what are we getting then? We can replace intrigue with either chicanery or subterfuge. Subterfuge also means trickery or ploy. Yeah. 2, accuracy is the best answer. Or precision. Accuracy or precision. Right? So it could be accuracy or precision, but are we going with techniques? No, we have eliminated it. So we can go with C. It won't be correction. It won't be consistency. So we have chicanery and accuracy. Chicanery means Chicanery means
Deception.
ट्वेंटी जल्दी अभी एक वर्कशीट में इतना टाइम लगेगा नहीं हाँ बी
correct.
करेक्ट एवरीवन गॉट बी
Yes. Yeah.
दैट्स व्हाई आई टोल्ड यू टू राइट योर आंसर स्किप किया था क्यों actual reason that led to the dash of the current conflict. So what is the breakthrough of the conflict? Breakthrough, when you use breakthrough?
I can solve this problem.
You solve a problem or break through a crowd. So we are talking about a conflict. Huh? Emission of a conflict, outbreak, eruptions, breakout,
Outbreak.
outbreak or eruption. Not really eruption, outbreak of a could be the controversial Prasad educational trust case in which the petitioners allege that some individuals have were envisaging to influence the Supreme Court. What does envisage mean? What does envisage mean? Answer क्या है तो अलग बात है अभी हम लोग नहीं envisaging would be imagining or yeah getting together and planning yeah and controversial is it correct
No.
are we talking about controversial it could be something that people don't agree with so contentious or disputed could be the correct answer yeah so and we are going with outbreak we are not going with A we are not going with D the outbreak or eruption could be outbreak is the best option and conceiving will not be yeah third plant में conceiving नहीं आएगा so B is the correct one. Yes yeah Krish you got it now huh? Okay, now you got it 21 का answer you got correct
31 क्या?
everyone what no you don't see read carefully following public protest following public protest means after public protest but if you look at the rest of it political pressure what followed the it political pressure and the strength of highly drafted legislation so can drafted be replaced with prepared ordered design made could be but will the pressure be replaced with gains coming to वैसे भी नहीं होगा आप definitely से आपको would it be political pressure political pressure okay quickly 22 you got the answer for 22 Shyam running out of time you want got this wrong then we will move 23 correct everyone correct no doubts 24 everyone
Yes.
25 wrong huh? What do you mean by acclaim okay acclaim means you announce something or you you accept something, that also will come in. Over 170 persons were dashed as accused.
Okay, I understood.
Reproach won't be criminalized as accused होगा क्या? नहीं होगा. Claimed can be, but agreed means, huh? Arraigned means prosecuted or impeached.
Charged.
As charged as accused. Simple word is charged. In the single clause, one more culpable under the various sections. Now you can't say arraigned and yes. Second one will be charged. Charged under various sections, not culpable. He committed a culpable mistake, but under various sections he was charged. Not culpable. Culpable is amounting to grave sin or grave mistake. Culpable crime, culpable mistake. Okay, 20, almost 26. 26.
Yeah.
You got it now? Huh? 26.
Correct.
Hello, 26. Correct? Okay. So why did you get it wrong? What did you mark? D. No improvement required.
DD.
Okay. He would step up from the post.
Step down.
He would step down from the post because it's talking about the founder announced that he would dash from the post of chairman of the Chinese e-commerce game next year. So he wanted to resign. So step down, resign, not step up. Announced is correct. 27 is okay? Huh? 27? Correct?
Yes.
28 is correct?
No.
No? Upshot to a fall. Falling Indian rupee will make the imports costlier and will dash to a fall in fuel prices. So Indian rupee is falling. So if Indian rupee is falling, imports cost will increase or fall. Little logic also here. Imports cost will rise. Right? So will lead to a rise, not upshot to a fall. A will be your right answer. Okay. Okay, now read the sentence. Dash to a increase or dash to a rise. Oh.
But still that two rights.
Huh?
Both
Result. Okay. Yeah. Result is also correct, but how do you use result?
Same.
Look at the prepositions and articles. Prepositions and articles. Result in. Will it be result 2? No. It won't be result 2 and it won't be increase and it will be an increase, not a increase. So you have options which fit in. The meaning is same, but usage, grammatical usage will be different. You have to be careful about that. So we did you get the answer?
A.
Huh? Did you get it right?
No.
So A is the answer. Okay, going Dutch means pay for your share. Rain or shine?
Whatever the circumstances.
Rain or shine, we have to play the game. Yeah?
No matter
No
what.
matter what happens,
Okay.
or no matter what the circumstances.
I'm 29.
29, going Dutch. When you walk with your friends, you go Dutch. Means we pay for your stay. That's Dutch. You say that's Dutch. Right? That is in our lingo. I don't know what to say in your lingo. Hmm? So yeah, this is done. What's the time? Do we have time for another? Okay.
10 minutes.
What's the time?
10 minutes.
10 minutes more. So next one, we will just go through your own answers. I'm not going to go through all the questions, right? Yeah, we'll just go through your doubts. Right answer hai to then don't ask. Anyone got this wrong? Number
One
one?
second.
Huh?
1 second.
Nine.
Correct.
Correct.
6.
You see?
I guess.
Appellate. You've done this in class also.
Fifth.
Fifth one. Betty, you got? That was easy.
First one I got.
Same meaning.
See.
First one you got wrong.
Yes.
Why you got it wrong? Frightened, terrified. What's the relationship?
Higher degrees.
Higher degree.
So no develop.
No, develop is the same level. They're not can be used. See, grow and develop. Is there a difference in the degree? Even if we use it the same way. So create, make. Even if you look at the degree, it's, you can say make and you create is higher, but it's the other way around. Yeah? Pull, drag. Pull, drag. What are we looking at? Frighten, terrify. Pull, drag. You pull something, you drag along. Pull at something. Pull, drag, yeah, but it's the same picture. Yeah, we will best try because it's talking about an emotion or person related to a person. Yeah, so try will. Okay, you were talking about time. Yeah, imperious. Imperious would mean imperious means dominating or domineering. So same meaning would be bossy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're bossy. You're too domineering. You dominate everybody. Okay, 6 is okay. Huh? Denigrate means you look down on somebody or defame somebody. You will make sure to write your name. Opposite of denigrate would be hello.
Yes.
Which questions did you get wrong?
Skip.
Skip one.
6 1.
6 1. Why did you skip 6? Denigrate you have come across. Denigrate to put somebody down or to humiliate somebody, defame somebody. Right?
For these 4 questions, another question wrong.
Which one? All 4 are wrong. Because you are.
I was in a hurry actually.
So don't be careful. Cynical, you know?
Yes, optimistic.
Colon. Colon means
Jokes.
sad, lonely.
Sad, but the opposite
Yeah.
is happy.
So, meaning synonym would be depressed. Cheerful would be the opposite. Okay, this hasn't been shared, so something. Sorry, Shyam, you should have told me nothing. You can't see anything on the screen.
The work is like.
9. 9 में क्या हुआ? Correct or not? Viva, number 9. World's recyclable plastic. That was we had to look for the one, select the option which contains a part of the sentence which has an error. We have to point out the error. 10. 10. Got it? Come here. Okay, read the entire sentence. You will get it. As a fertilizer? A fertilizer?
Yes, scrap food is singular, so
A fertilizer. As fertilizer, not a fertilizer.
The model is based on a legislation draft, right? No?
Model is based on legislation.
On all legislation.
On legislation drafted is also fine.
No, but then
Model is based on legislation
more fertilizers on
drafted in France.
as in it should be the legislation. No?
Yeah, it could be the legislation, but we have choose only one. So we can skip the,
You can see also like that.
yes, yes.
no, we won't say a fertilizer.
We can. But
Yeah, would you say one fertilizer?
so the bear was to make.
It's a general process. Is it talking about one process or general process?
Different.
A general process. So would we say a singular fertilizer? Or fertilizer in general? Right? Or fertilizer would be. Next way, you got it?
Yes.
What was wrong here?
It was
11 the cereal glass on Easter. Cereal glass में सब क्या है
So
Ram tiger, why?
singular.
Singular.
Yes.
Rams is singular, we need plural because we have classes.
Yes.
12,
Unlike.
did you get this?
Yes.
No?
And mechanical.
Viva,
I'm reading again about it.
what around? One head?
I'm going to write C.
See your color. We don't want.
Read the sentence. Okay, read the sentence. Suffer from.
From.
You suffered an injury, you suffer from a headache. So, cervical cancer. Cancer can be.
I know why so easily can't right?
15, 13 is correct.
Yes.
To deal with the situation. 14,
Correct. A.
A.
The election commission.
The election commission.
The election.
15, Shyam, you got these correct? I haven't done them. 15,
Correct.
huh?
D.
D. What would you say?
Yes.
Throughout this. 16, Viva, How much? Okay, what is the answer given? No error.
And should not be there, no?
And should not be there.
C over.
C over. So if you have not C, it is correct. It will be fine. The answer given is no error. But your hand should not be to be surrogate mothers and purely for artistic reasons. Yes. 17. What does altruistic mean?
Be altruism. Selflessness.
Yeah, I think one person remember. Okay, 17 we just
17
17 B violate होगा या people violate. 18 you got?
No.
No? When 2006 objectives. You got these? Right? 19. Huh? What is the difference between systemic and systematic? Systemic means
Systematic means properly.
systemic means related to a particular system. A particular way of doing things. Right? So, and it's talking about a contrast, so we won't go with because we'll go with although. We can also go with albeit, but repeated will not. What is albeit? Albeit means although. Though. Okay. 20 you got? Why you didn't get 20? Huh? And dash economy, you missed out on that. And
Oh, I don't expect it.
it should be
Spelling.
huh?
Post spelling was wrong.
Insipid means what does insipid mean? Dull. It's not. Insipid is difficult. Yeah, insipid means dull, and incipient means foolish. And A was INCI. Incipient with the C. Means A वाले में incipient means initial stage. So if you look at the sentence, the Nation Central Bank has said that an incipient economic recovery is underway. Means what is now? Foolish thing होगा, slow would be, and is there, so we can't take slow. Weak would be correct in the second blank, but anemic we have to solve it. Anemic also means something is anemic or somebody is anemic means doesn't have energy. Slow. Weak. Okay, now our time is up. We can go through this. So tomorrow you will write, we will do one thing. All the questions you've done, write down which ones are wrong. Right? So if you have noted down which ones are wrong, you can do faster. Otherwise, I have to do every question like this. Okay? And you check which ones you have.
I checked the VRBL.
Okay, till now, which are the topics that are most difficult? Okay. Add example.
Okay. The ones in which you have to type the incorrect yesterday
So which ones do you think you need the most practice? Ramame, you have to be a little careful. Yeah. So we will do more. I think this week we can focus more on, we focus on everything. We have gone through, but we need to do more exercises.
All the question types are over.
Yeah, question types are done. So you have an idea of the question types, but we need to go into rigorous practice. The rigorous practice happens. Yeah. So if I give you worksheets, make sure you do that.
Yeah.
So that we can do more worksheets in class. Right? Shall we? Okay, Shyam. Shyam, what worksheets have you not done as yet?
I'm only last worksheet I have not done.
Huh?
बाकी सब हो गया है.
Okay, so now this week
Worksheet बाकी सब हो.
This week you will do one worksheet every day. So by Friday you should have completed the rest of it. 5 worksheet on it. Worksheet like the class test. Class test. Yeah? Even time already. So by Friday you should have completed all of them. Agar Thursday तक complete हो जाता है, then we'll go. Yeah? We get more time to discuss before you go on to the next one. Okay? And if you think you are ready for the next walk and you want to take next week, then you can put in a request that we are ready for upload.
This week.
Next walk test if you want to take before Sunday. It is 2 hours.
On Sunday,
You will never make it to IIM. And even if you do, you will be in, I want to rest.
no, I mean, I think when the day चला जाता है, then थोड़ा manage.
See, the thing is that you have to put in rigorous practice. If you don't put in rigorous practice, yes, it's made up.
It's another practice.
Okay, Shyam, you can get ready for the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.